If you want to upgrade your TiVo Roamio with a larger hard drive, TiVo has made it a lot easier since the old days of the TiVo 2. All you need is a larger hard drive. I've chosen a 3 terabyte hard drive to upgrade this with. I think you can go up to 3 terabytes. I don't think they've supported 4 terabytes quite yet. This is July of 2014, but perhaps in the future they've upgraded. You need two things. You need two different types of wrenches. A hex wrench and a flathead screwdriver. These are the sizes I'm using that I've shown for this, and I think we're going to go ahead and get started. I would go ahead and unplug all of your TiVo, and additionally I would go ahead and work to remove all the power and everything, and let's go ahead and get started. First step you're going to do is you're going to go and locate the back of your TiVo, and right above the middle portion right here, you're going to see a screw right here that you're going to use your T9 torque wrench right here, not a hex wrench, I apologize saying earlier. And we'll zoom in right here, and we're going to undo this portion right there, and it is just a small screw right here, a screw about this long to give you kind of reference to pull out. Go ahead and set that in a safe spot, and you're going to notice the machine right here hunches up, okay? And on my TiVo unit, portion right here pries open just a tiny bit, and you're going to use your screwdriver and kind of work around this portion, and there's going to be clips inside here that you're going to work around, and we'll work each of them. You're going to work the clips around right here. There's one we want to be right here, and one about 4 to 5 inches right around here. So you're just going to basically push in and then pry in that clip right there. And there's going to be another clip on the side over here. I'll show you what I do. So you're going to pry the unit, and if you notice right here, there's going to be kind of a clip on the front of the TiVo right here, and that corresponds with the slip right here, so you want to make sure you align it. Alright, so we'll show you the inside of the TiVo. Okay, so the inside of a TiVo is pretty standard if you've ever seen inside it before. If you haven't worked with this, make sure you ground yourself by touching something neutral, such as metal, to discharge any static. There's going to be kind of 4 points that you're wanting to use with your wrench right here that you're going to be using. There's going to be one position here, there's going to be one position here, and one position over here. And then what we're going to do is that there are mounting brackets along the side right here on both sides. We're just going to take those out. Make sure you take note on where it needs to go, and then we're going to realign it. And then the SATA cord and the power are located right here, and it's also all within one unit. So we'll show you how to take that out. Alright, so we're going to take the screws outside of each of these right here. Make sure it goes back into kind of the smaller portion right here when you pull it back on both sides. I tried using a little bit earlier a T9 torque wrench right here, but unfortunately didn't work. So I'm just using a flathead screwdriver that kind of fits in this, and this is a 1/8 screwdriver. I don't actually own a T9 or larger, so basically I put it in there. There's kind of a plastic spacer right here for vibration dampening, so make sure you pull these out and keep them on the side. It's always best to kind of keep an area where you keep all your brackets in. So remember, it's going to go on these outside portions of things. So give yourself a reference that goes towards the bottom where the name plate's up on top. I like to do that as well. I also like to kind of orient the pieces of equipment on the table along with the screws so that you always remember where you're gonna have it. So we've taken that portion out, and then I'm gonna lay this aside to pull up the next hard drive, and I'll show you that. So the hard drive I decided to purchase with this is a 3 terabyte hard drive. It's a WD-30 EURX, and it's a 3 terabyte hard drive. If we notice, I'll kind of show you kind of the platform of these. You notice the top one, which is the original, is a little bit more slender. Just looking at it, looks like there's plenty of space in there. All you need is this. Whenever I'm purchasing hard drives, you know, I've looked around kind of the Amazon reviews, taking a look at this, and some other people have basically said this is working pretty well. By the time you watch this video, they may have different hard drives that are available on that, so I wouldn't fret too much. Just try out different hard drives. It's a SATA hard drive. I'd probably find a hard drive that's rated where you can, you know, run this continuously. This is a green drive. I've seen other green drives inside Tivo Roamios as well. So we're going to go ahead and mount it on this as well. So if we remember, there's going to be 2 screws inside of here, and we're going to mount them in here and go from there. Okay, since this hard drive is a little bit larger, what we're going to do is we've mounted the brackets standard on the left side, kind of like how the old one was, but I reversed the bracket on here because the way it lays in, it's supposed to be laying in flat on here. Basically, if you see right here, it's kind of staggered right here. This one's a little bit higher, and that is in there, so it gives you the flexibility of doing that. We're going to go ahead and plug in the power first for this, and then we're going to go ahead and lay it in. And there's going to be 2 brackets up here, up on the right side, and that it's going to lay in flat like that. So a little bit confusing at first, but once you get through it, it's really not that bad. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the screws over here, and I'll kind of show you the portions right here. One right here, and then one on the side right here. As we see, it kind of lays in flat. So I'm going to go ahead and install those. Primarily for the Tivo, if you bought the base unit, it doesn't include kind of the added features as kind of the plus, but you know, I got this as a clearance item at one of the local places, but I definitely do prefer the Tivo compared to any of the other recording devices, mainly because of the guide. And I'm going to go ahead and power it up for you here in a second so that you can take a look at it. The firmware itself actually rewrites to the hard drive and gets the hard drive prepped up so that it can record. In the past, you know, you had to do things like, you know, boot up Linux and redo hard drives and all that type of stuff. And if you don't feel comfortable doing any of this, you can definitely buy a hard drive from one of the local vendors and online and put it on there. But as we've noticed, everything lays in flat, and you remember the screw in the back as well. We're going to go ahead and use this torque portion right there. Make sure you press down a little bit on the top so that we can get the lip connected from there, and that should be it. First time I've done this, you know, usually probably takes me about, you know, 15 minutes. If I were to redo it, probably took me about half an hour to do that. But just remember, take your time on all of this and just repeat the steps, and you can watch this video hopefully over and over and over and take a look at it. I'm going to show you a boot screen of the Tivo here in a second. We've lost all of our settings, so we're probably going to have to go through and redo all of our settings as well. But this is a screen that turned on this, and I'll show you the next screen whenever we see it. Alright, looks like we're back in business. We're going to go through the setup and get it set up. Hope yours went as successful as mine. Good luck.